Alright, welcome back everybody to Grounded. So, I think we're actually going to take on the Pond Lab now. One thing that I'm wondering... What am I looking for? There it is. So we need silk rope, sunken bone, eelgrass strand. I don't remember if we can get silk rope. In There's a certain area with some resources down here. But we're going to try and do this with the gill tube. I think we can. It's been a while since I've tried, but... Actually, maybe that's a terrible idea. Maybe I should get the sunken bones. If I can remember where the dinosaur is. Dino. Yeah, that's it. No, leave me alone. Leave me alone, spider. Here it is. This is where the bubbles come out, I believe. Come on. There you go. Here's the spooky, scary dinosaur that I don't like getting near, but we're going to. Ugh. Here we go. And this is why we bring the lantern. Because even with the gamma turned up, it's kind of a nightmare finding the bones. Can we get to the bubble in time? Bubble. Am I dead? Oh no! Hey everyone. Vagabond here again. So in case I sound a little different, guess what happened again? Somehow, I really don't know what's going on, but OBS muted my microphone. I must have tapped out at one point. Very strange. This is the only game where it does that. I've been testing it, you know, with Starfield. I've been having those videos coming out. And with State of Decay, I don't believe I've had those issues. So, very strange. So I'm going to do a little audio voiceover here. So the Pond Lab is really cool. I do think it's pretty easy. Like, you can do minimal combat if you really want to. And so it's a really nice one to do early on. Honestly, you could do it before the Hedge Lab very easily. Debatably, you may want to do it before the Hedge Lab because you can so easily get the materials to make the scale armor, which is very good, especially if you're not good at perfect blocking or you're trying to get good at it. And it's a tier 2 armor, I believe, and very cheap. All it takes is the scales that you saw me digging up, and then the bones, and I'm trying to remember what else. Maybe silk rope. It's very cheap. So had to put this in here. I missed the bubble. I was freaking out, and I was like, okay, maybe there's gonna be one more. Just barely missed it. So that happened. There's a decent amount that's edited out here just because, you know, the Pond Lab's just a bunch of swimming. There's not a lot of interesting things. And that happened. That was a strange thing. There's just a lot of swimming in the majority of the Pond Lab. I believe right there, what was I doing? Oh, right, I was going through to get the last bone that I needed for the bubble helmet, which you can see on me right now. Once you get the bubble helmet, the pond lab is pretty trivial, just because you don't have to worry about air. So at this point, we're pretty set. I was looking around, realized that I missed the milk molar that's over there, but that's alright, we'll come back for it later. So last time I was playing through this, maybe a year or so ago, I was having such a hard time because I kept trying to turn the dials and nothing would work, and I forgot that you have to actually go into the lab and activate something before it'll work. Very silly thing, I know, but don't know why I was having so many issues. And this was a change that I hadn't seen before. I was really happy about. It used to be that there were just items scattered on these like shelves over here, and they were kind of a pain to pick up in the water. So I'm pretty happy with that change. It streamlined it, made it a lot easier to get stuff. And that's why you want the bubble helmet. I don't know if you can do that with the gill tube. You may be able to if you're just going immediately over
Each
here.
member of the Tully family, excepting yours truly, looks at Brussels sprouts, the great cabbage of Belgium, with utter disdain. Within its densely packed leaves, a high-powered nutrient boost in a miniature form factor. And yet mealtime after mealtime, it is recklessly cast aside. Well, more for me. The body knows when it's lacking something. Funny that it doesn't tell the mind why, though. But I have taken the hint, and I'll do those brilliant horticulturalists of Belgium one better. You see, these little morsels are a prime candidate for experimentation in my new submersible multifunction lab. A closed-loop system complete with retractable solar dome. I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
Dr. Tully, it is almost time for your
Got a little
appointment.
scare there with this robot.
Already? The joys of getting older. Trudy pushed me to go see a doctor after she remarked that I looked like a plate of wet ham. Very well. Mustn't be late and keep Dr. Applebaum waiting.
That could have gone really badly. Those things do a decent amount of damage. So this was another change that I noticed, that the rotten stinger spear is now destroyed when you find it. Used to be that it just had full health and you could use it no problem. I think that was a really good change, because I would just pick that up and use it for the whole lab, and it made it really easy for the spiders. Now we're just doing a little bit of inventory management. So here's the fun part. There's this little hidey hole here. And if you go through and somehow don't die, there's a key at the end of it. And the key opens that chest that we swam by earlier. So the problem is it's a very narrow area, and there are 3 or 4 spiders here. And so if you dodge perfectly, like I did not there, you can kind of get through here without taking any damage, and you don't have to fight anyone, which is kind of ideal. So that's what I'm going for here. Somehow it didn't get hit. That was probably the best run I've done of that. Usually I get hit at least a few times. So, time to go switch on the switches. I guess that's what you call them. Always make sure to check the skeleton. I didn't realize that the gastronomy badge is down here. Toxicology badge. That's extremely useful in the haze area. So molar here, which fortunately we crafted a tier 2 spider dagger. So that makes things relatively easy because we don't have to worry about keeping like a random other tier 2. I'm trying to remember what else is a tier 2 like knife. I would remember. But the spider dagger is pretty easy to make. So I was thinking that fan was going to turn on. It used to be on before you turned on that switch, and it would just kind of pulsate on and off. So I guess they changed that. Finding a lot of little things that they changed. And I realized here I need to go back and get some air before I go for this last one. Sorry, last two. This one is relatively easy as long as you don't stop moving. There's a few spiders here, but they tend to not catch up to you very easily. And now stamina at a really bad time, but I made it out, so it's fine. So I have very bad memories
safer
of this area of the lab. I tend to not do well against these robots, and somehow I didn't do terrible.
Ugh. Worse than my mom's Brussels sprouts.
I think part of it is I actually prepared somewhat and had a decent set of armor.
I'm holding raw science in my hands. What does it even mean?
And if you want to pause it, you can read these notes. I tend not to read them too much.
I wonder if I'd get stronger if I ate these muscle sprouts. Ugh.
Sorta.
Fiat Lux!
So now into the very scary, deep, dark hole with water in it. Wait, why did I not look in that chest? What? What was in that chest? I have no idea. I don't think I even noticed. Yeah, there's a scabbard behind here, but there's also a spider. I really thought I was gonna die here. I didn't know the timings at all for the blocking. But somehow did okay. And then that happened. Now we get the Scabby. Was it worth it? Probably not. I'm not even really a completionist when it comes to games, specifically RPGs. I just like to figure out play styles and whatnot. But when I see a Scabby right in front of me like that, I have a hard time not picking it up.
Choke it down, Pete. No water filtration tablets needed.
Dr. Applebaum has pronounced me in perfect health. For a man 20 years my senior. I must face the facts. The gray hairs, the wrinkles, they are not figments of the imagination. I can draw only one reasonable conclusion. It is the elusive fractional errors of the shrinking process which are the cause. Trudy has asked that I discontinue my experiments, but what choice do I have? If I quit now, I will have nothing. What will I be other than a failed inventor and scientist with no discoveries to his name, unable even to teach the basics of physics to a gaggle of hormonal teenagers? No! This means that I must sacrifice 20 years of my life. And so be it.
Yeah, I didn't want to talk over that audio log. So there's always 2 tasties that spawn here after you do that area. And miraculously, I did okay. I'm telling you, normally I don't do this well with the robot combat. Lots of saving in this lab. Typically not too much of a save scummer, whatever they call it, where you just constantly reload. The thing that I don't like though is I don't like having to die and then respawn somewhere far away and then go all the way back. So usually in these areas I save a decent amount. Now here's where it gets dangerous because you got the big electricity boys here. And these guys will hurt pretty bad. Ouch. I'm honestly really surprised I didn't die there.
New one for the bestiary.
And a new gold card, which never used to get this many gold cards whenever I do my own playthroughs. So that's cool. Now I remembered there was a Scabby somewhere around here. And we get some fancy rocks. That's good. Still need to unlock the resource conveyor. Completely forgot about that in the hedge lab.
Science!
Alright, now where's that scabby? I know it's here. There it is. And a bunch of more fancy rocks. So here's the real prize of going through here, is having a consistent resource of muscle sprouts. They are incredible, and I'm a big fan of using the healing build along with the ladybug armor upgrade through sleek. So it makes things way easier on woe mode. So at this point I'm just trying to figure out what I need to drop. And you get 30 muscle sprouts each time here, and they respawn every 3 days, I want to say. Now if you unlock the resource conveyor, it makes it a heck of a lot easier because you can just check on there, so you don't have to like bother coming down here to actually figure out if they're available. So that's a really good trick to use. And now I'm realizing, oh right, I can only have a stack of 5 per slot, so gotta throw stuff away. Good stuff. So we got 30 muscle sprouts. I'll probably make a stack of the green machine, I think that's what it's called. Oh, there's the super chip and the duper disc. Good stuff. And
Must be one heck of an engineer to be able to build something like this.
really, really cool view. So at this point I was realizing, oh right, I never got the milk molar chest. So I believe I'm going over to the exit, which I almost never get the right door for. Because I want to unlock the map icon. It makes it a lot easier to figure out where it is when you come back down to
Holding
farm
raw science
muscle
in my
sprouts.
hands. What does it even mean?
There it is. So, back to the chest.
I feel a little less squishy now.
Just now noticed how squishy the noise is in this area. Like your footsteps. Interesting. So, the chest is kind of in between those bubbles that we use to get over to this area. We're picking up algae so that we can use those for the green machine later. That's like the cheapest actual formula for a smoothie in the game, as far as I know. But it's also just incredible because it gives you stamina recovery speed, I believe. So I tend to hoard those and use them in emergencies. And if you couple them with the muscle sprouts give you a ton of health. So they're just a really good emergency smoothie to have. And what I usually do is I bind. Oh yeah, here's where the other gold milk molar is. I was looking for it earlier. I usually bind one of my side mouse buttons to the smoothies. Right now it's bound to, I think, the 8th slot. So I'll end up swapping the bandages right there for a smoothie, I imagine. Good stuff. So we're done with the pond lab. It's pretty straightforward. I think I may have missed a milk molar. Definitely missed some in the actual pond area, so I'll have to come back to that. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that, you know, on camera or not, just because there's so many guides for milk molars. I could make like a stream out of it or something, I guess. Just to test live streams. So... Alright, so the plan was to go over to Burgle, give him the chips, and spend a few upgrade points, probably spend some raw science. Yeah, you want to grab the sludge from the grub whenever you can, because even though it doesn't give us much health, the normal smoothies, not using the muscle sprouts, are still pretty decent with healing. What I usually do is I make a bunch of like random smoothies that don't give any real benefits. Like I'll literally just do like 3 plant fibers.
Hello there! How can I help you today?
And because of the healing increase that you can get, it's still pretty good.
You are more resourceful than I thought. Hand it over and we can see what data Dr. Tully backed up upon it. Processing. Processing. This is the Hedge Super Chip. Forgive me, I forgot to mention the nasty spiders before I sent you up there. I hope they were not too much trouble. Haha.
Haha.
I am feeling much more like myself. Take it from me, there's nothing quite like a reverse lobotomy. Thank you, of course. Dr. Tully has included emotional programming to make me more human-like. Feelings enhance my cooking and grilling features. Every burger flip has a great deal of love put into it. Now, what is it you were wanting to know? Oh yes, the location of the other super chip. There are 4 labs throughout the yard, each with a super chip. The Hedge Lab, the Pond Lab, the Haze Lab, and the Black Ant Lab. And you have already made it through the hedge. So now I will mark the location. Please find them and return to me so we can figure out how to repair the space. Oh, before you leave, check out the new recipes in the... I knew I could. Here we go. Woo! Better analysis shows the spacer suffered a catastrophic failure in the embiggening. The embiggening cell stores and regulates interatomic energy transfer during the spacing expansion phase of the spacer. Put simply, it controls the rate of growth of the subject and prevents overexpansion, which can be quite messy. Yes. If the subject's rate of growth is not precisely regulated, overexpansion will cause bioorganic subjects, such as yourself, to pop like a gremlin in a microwave. Or scientifically speaking, of course. There is both good news and bad news. Which would you like to have first? All natural flavoring is not, strictly speaking, natural. Now you know. The good news is that I have a spare cell here. The bad news, it is empty. The cell must be filled with a special mixture. A cocktail, if you will. Another breakthrough invention by Dr. Tully. Hold please while I push the recipe for the embiggening cocktail to your scabby. Processing. Processing. Error. Missing directory. The directory you attempted to copy. Cheese and fries. It appears the formula for the embiggening cocktail is not in my memory. It must be on one of the remaining super chips. We will need that recipe in order to fill the embiggening cell and send you home. I am sorry. It seems like the forces of nature are trying to keep you in this yard. But I believe you are here for a reason. Hold on to the empty cell for me, and when you feel ready, retrieve another super chip to see if we can piece this puzzle together. Ah, more chips. Thank you. Hand it over and let us see what I can remember. Much better. Check the ASL Terminal Science Shop for the new recipes. Thank you. Come again.
Alright, good stuff. So, finally time to spend some milk molars. So I was trying to decide between health and stamina. Stamina generally is more important. However, having healing is incredible. and that just seemed worth it with the amount of healing items that I use. Now this one I was at a toss-up. I figured consumables tend to be better to prioritize for me, but also having a higher resource stack size is incredibly useful. So we just did one of each. Eventually, obviously, the goal is to just upgrade everything, so it won't be a problem. And the super duper machine, I'd never actually activated it before, so
Work.
going through, entering the discs in there, and just checking it out. It's pretty neat. And I just noticed that it looks like you can't duplicate the badges, because I had that toxicology badge up there. Didn't seem to work. So yeah, we went with cooking. Cooking's incredible when you have the right recipes. Decided not to prioritize any of these cookbooks currently. Especially this one for swim speed, I just don't need it. Zip lines we end up going with just because they're fantastic later on once you can afford to, you know, make one up to the upper yard. Multi-story bases always need that. And we end up deciding to go with meat shield, just because that's incredible really any time in the game, but early on, especially in low mode, where that little bit can really help. I mean, that's huge to have. So I think we took off cardio fan. Yeah, took off cardio fan. And put meat shield on there. I need to start utilizing the loadouts.
Right about now.
Just realized that. So yeah, that was pretty much the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. The Pond Lab, very cool, you know, exploration, but I don't find it the most exciting. I'm trying to think of which one I like the most. I don't like it the most, but the Haze Lab is pretty interesting. So I'm just gonna leave this in here. Thought that was a beautiful look, so decided to make a thumbnail. Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. In between the episode, I went back to the base, got a few things sorted, and went ahead and made the smoothie machine, which was something I forgot to mention. I believe you unlock the smoothie machine with the pawn chip. It may not be correct, I believe that's correct. So I went ahead and made the smoothie machine, and next episode we'll probably start making the smoothies, which are a huge help. So anyways, thanks so much for watching. I hope this voiceover was alright. I think I got it fairly in sync with the video. And hope you all enjoyed it, and have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching.